Now, what was it that made the United States the only country to date that didn't have the same genocidal Jew hatred at the root of its identity that we saw in country after country in Europe, that we see in the Arab world? It was that the United States, its forefathers, had this idea that was based on the Torah, of a rule of law, of limited government, of the responsibility of individuals to make that decision between good and evil, and to choose good and to have the liberty from government to be able to make that choice. And that was the whole concept of limited government. The whole concept of a modern state was based on the Hebrew Bible, and it was transported from the British Enlightenment to the New World through the American forefathers, founding fathers. And what do we see today? Why is it that we see more and more and more Jew hatred and attacks on Jews in U.S. universities, in political circles, on the left? Because the left in the United States is introducing an ideology that is fundamentally un-American, that is based upon a totalitarian idea of a governing power that is absolute, that knows better than an individual what's good for him or her. And if you know better than I do what's good for me, what's good for my children, then you're an absolute power, right? And if you are an absolute power, you have to reject Jews. Because absolute powers must reject Jews who understand that there's no such thing except God, and by the way, you're not him. Conclude. We are faced with this wave because the strength of people in this room, unfortunately outside this room, seems to be waning. And the wave that is rising throughout the world is a wave of hatred, of bloodlust, of totalitarianism. And again, this is familiar. This is known. We understand what we're dealing with. The new thing in this generation is that we see the Americans confused for the first time about what side they're supposed to be on. We see that there is a question about, is Israel evil for standing up, for existing, for being different from all of its unaesthetic, misogynistic, totalitarian neighbors? Are we bad for being loyal to everything that we've stood for 4,000 years? How can you question that? Because Americans are beginning to question what it means to be an American, or not even understand it. And if you come down on that question, understanding that to be a human being means to be a moral agent, not an object, then you're with the Jews. And you're opposing totalitarianism, and you're opposing hatred, and you're opposing genocide. And if you come down on that question with, I want somebody else to tell me what to do, I don't know, I'm too weak, I'm too lazy, I'm too uneducated, I'm too ignorant to recognize the meaning of freedom, then you're swayed. You don't care, or you can run around saying, liberate Palestine.